Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to a Shenmue Dojo video. Today's video I'm doing my tour of my shelves, and this is before I move offices because we have a newborn coming. So I will be moving out of this office into a slightly smaller room, which my wife has very kindly given up. I'm under much duress and arguing and throwing things at me. No, I'm joking. But she's given up her office for me, which is fantastic. It means I can keep the shelves up, but I'm going to have a slightly smaller space. But I want to show off the shelves a little bit because a lot of you have asked me what you got on the shelves. Are you going to do a room tour? So I thought, all right, it's a good opportunity to do it before I move. So what I will be doing is going through all my shelves sort of one by one, picking up some key objects as we go, and maybe giving a little bit of background about some of them as we move through the tour itself. So I'm going to start up here on my top shelf here, which most of you would have seen in the streams. So up here, for example, coming from sort of my left-hand side here, I've got some little custom Chobi-chan that were made for me from somebody in Japan. Right in the corner, I've got the Shenmue cologne, which doesn't smell like tobacco and gold. It actually smells quite nice. Coming off the shelf, US Shenmue, which again, these are quite rare these days, but you can always pick them up from Japan. It's probably my favourite cover of the original Shenmue games actually as well, so that's always worth picking up. To the back there, you've got the steelbook version of Shenmue 3. Here you've got a mug using the classic Ryo artwork, which was from 2018 Sega Shop. And then in the corner, you've got the Watch Shenmue VHS and a couple of other little bits and pieces as well. Moving down, possibly one of my favourite shelves, I'm going to take a couple of items off here. I've got my signed versions of Shenmue 1 and 2. These were signed in Monaco by Yu Suzuki himself. Items I will go to the grave with. These are like my prized possessions, pretty much over anything on my shelf. I'm really proud of these. So they take pride of place on the shelf just here. And then also you would have seen a lot of people have asked me about the Funkos here. So these were custom made. Ren here, my wife got for me. Rio, which is the one in the middle, my wife got that for me as well. And Shenhua, I got custom made through a different company. But probably my favourites, Rio is the original. I think there's only 3 of these in the world, but I really, really like Rio, so he's certainly one of my favourites there as well. Coming down on sort of the middle-ish shelves, which you would have all seen on stream, I've got some customised mirrors that were made on Etsy. Quite like them. There's an unboxing coming for those very, very shortly. At the back here, you've got the Phoenix design, which is the box cover for the Shenmue 1 and 2 LPs that were made by Data Discs. Either side of that, you've got the Shenmue 3 Collector's Editions, one from Limited Run Games, the other from his UK Collector's Edition. And at the front here, and I am going to pick them up, the Shenmue the Animation pins, which came from Japan. Very rare items now, you can barely get hold of these. I'm surprised there didn't more of them, it's a shame they didn't really. Then coming down a little bit, I'm going to take a knee because I can't bend down anymore, I'm old. I've got Shenmue World issues 1 and 2. I need to put 3 on there. One of my favourite items on here is the Shenmue 3 soundtrack, the disc set. The artwork on the front was commissioned by Kenji Miyake at the time for this particular project, and there's some awesome artwork in there as well. To the back there, you've got the pink pamphlet from the Shenmue premiere, Shenmue the movie VHS, which came from Japan, and sort of hidden away, you've got a couple of little posters and orchestras as well. Coming down to then the last sort of Shenmue shelf on this section, I guess, I've got Japanese versions of Shenmue 1 and 2 here. I've then got the Pix and Love editions of Shenmue 1 and 2 and Shenmue 3. Again, they've got some superb art books if you haven't seen those already. I have unboxed those on a video previously, so check those out. And then this item here, which it's a very rare item. It's the only way I can talk about it. It's from Sega All-Stars Racing. And it is a press item where you've got Rio on a forklift. Now, you'd think being sort of one of, I think there's 1,000 of these that were made, you'd think they'd put some effort into it. But quite frankly, even though it's rare, I don't really like it. I got it because it was rare. I wouldn't recommend spending a whole heap of money on it, personally. But it's one if you're a collector to pick up. But if you're not that bothered, certainly don't. Bottom shelf is full of games, and I've got a few Sonic Funko Pops rather, on the bottom. Probably my favourite being Metal Knuckles here, which has just come out fairly recently. So then we're going to move on. I've got to try and get up, which is really difficult. I've got at the top here, First for Figures special edition Landy, I think it's probably the best out of the first figure statues they've done. I'm not going to take him off the shelf for fear of picking him up and dropping him, but he's definitely my favourite statue there. Coming down, I've got a Shenmue mouse mat. This is Shenhua on it from the Shenmue premiere. Moving down, I've got the First Figures Special Edition Rio, and just behind him, I've got a Ren mouse mat from the premiere as well. It's a little bit yellowed, but the condition otherwise is pretty good. I picked that up fairly recently. Moving down, again, quite a rare item now from Wayo Records. I've got this Shenmue music box, which plays Shenhua's theme. I think that was released in 2019, if memory serves me correctly, but I could be wrong on that. There's a very limited amount of those made. Coming down, again, I've got the Ria Hazuki Numbskull statue as well. That retailed for about £80. And if you guys remember from when we went to Eurogamer, we met one of the founders of Numbskull who talked us through not just the design process for this, but the other statues they had in mind at the time. Unfortunately, didn't quite make the cut due to slow sales for the Shenmue stuff. It all sold out, but probably not as quickly as some other IPs. Then on the bottom here, I've got a collection of PlayStation 4 games, Switch games, an EverDrive 64 coming for my Analog 64, which is the N64 FPGA console coming out next year as well. Okay, so now we're moving on to my last couple of shelves here. So starting again at the top, I've got a few sort of rare Shenmue items and some custom stuff as well. So starting with the back here, in the back left and the back right hand corners, I've got the Shenmue sort of, I guess like fabric bags is what I want to call them. They were commissioned for the anime. They were part of the anime promotional push over in Debuita Street at the time. Incredibly rare items now. I won't pick them out because I don't want to knock anything over. But they're incredibly rare. You can probably pick them up these days for about £200 or £300. It's scary how much they're worth now. I think I paid about 50 quid for the two of them. So it's insane how much some of this stuff just goes up in price. Then sort of coming to the front here, I've got a figure here of Shenhua from Shenmue 4 2.5D. Rio, again from the same people. A little Bailu-chan there, which I think is really, really cool. I hide them on the shelves just because you have to do it with Chobi-chan and Bailu-chan. Here, I've got the Blu-ray version of A Gamer's Journey, the Shenmue documentary. And at the back here, I'm just going to step across, I've got a very, very small notebook from Shenmue City. So this was released as part of the press pack for Shenmue City, I think back in 2010, I want to say from memory. Probably the most expensive notebook I'll ever buy for the size of it, but a really rare item all the same, and one I'm really pleased to have managed to get hold of. Coming down, you're then into sort of the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter territory mixed in with some premiere items as well. So I've got a Shenmue 2 demo disc there, which again came from Japan. Then I've got some phone cards here of Ryo, Ren, Shenhua and Niaosun. In the far corner at the back there, I've got limited run games, one of the little cards they do with their sort of limited run games that they do and the collector's editions. Then at the front here, and I really like these, are the Shenmue 3 and toy capsules. So you've got Shenhua, Ryo, then I've got Ryo and his forklift just here, and I've got Chai being run over. I really like the Ryo with the forklift. I think he's brilliant, although he's a little bit of a problem to get his head on it, but there we are. So I can put him back running Chai over. Coming down a little bit, then into the sort of middle shelf, I've then got two of the anime posters. So on the right here, you've got the stamp set and the front sort of image and the main artwork. And then in the left-hand corner at the back there is the ending artwork from Shenmue the anime. They were, again, part of the promotional material for Shenmue the animation in Japan. No idea why it didn't come to the West, but again, quite rare items. Also in that left-hand corner is my Shenmue 3 Kickstarter edition, which actually was never opened because I got the retail release a few days before that even turned up. Some custom key rings here at the Tomato Store, the Game U Arcade, Shenhua statue from the premiere, and a Chobi-chan, and of course the Shenmue Dojo 24th anniversary pin. And I've got signed artwork here from Ryoji Aiuchi, who signed the print from the Shenmue LPs. So again, I got that signed a few years ago. Coming down, I've then got the Rio Tubbs Duck, which again, I think you can probably still pick a few of them up, but they have pretty much gone out of stock now. And then at the back, I've got Shenmue 1 and 2, the PlayStation edition, the Xbox edition of Shenmue 2, Shenmue the Movie DVD, Shenmue 3 PC edition, Shenmue 1 and 2. Now this is the Japanese special collector's edition that was issued in November 2018, and it also comes with the Shenmue 1 and 2 music soundtrack, which was the first opportunity for us to hear Shenmue 2 music at the time. And also all the music on this CD is uncompressed. So if you think back to the Dreamcast games, all the music was compressed because they had to for the space. On these CDs, the music is completely uncompressed, so it's the true versions of those songs that were done at the time, which is fantastic. At the front here, I've got a little Rio minifigure, a Lego figure. I think he's really cool actually, and he's been very well done. I did an unboxing of him a few years ago, but they've got his little tiger on there and they've got the jacket and everything. And then at the front here, I've got the Shenmue animation original soundtrack. Again, I think you can pick these up from Japan still, but again, getting rarer by the day. On the shelf below, you may not be able to see this quite clearly, but I will do some B-roll footage to see it. I've then got the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter edition soundtrack, the Shenmue OST, Watch Shenmue, a press edition of Shenmue 3, and then at the back there, I've got the Famitsu edition of Watch Shenmue. And at the front here, I've got the Shenmue cap from 2018 Sega Shop, complete with tag, never been worn. Again, you don't see those even on like eBay or anywhere anymore. It's very, very rare. Coming down onto the sort of bottom shelf, I've got a pin board which is made by my wife and various Sonic pins, and a shed load of Sonic Funko Pops. I've gone a bit Sonic Funko Pop mad, I guess. And then coming back to sort of my final shelf, which I guess is a bit of a bonus shelf. In case you just didn't know, I'm a bit of a Sonic fan as well as a Shenmue fan. So at the top of the shelves here, I've got Sonic being chased by Dr. Robotnik, the statue which came from Sega Shop, which obviously symbolises the end of Green Hill Zone, Act 3. Coming down, I've got a Dr. Robotnik shelf here with some of the little figures, enemies. The tub stuck here for Dr. Robotnik, which is probably the best tub stuck they've done for the Sonic series, in my opinion anyway. He's really cool. And the back there, you've got a little Robotnik Funko Pop, which again, I think is probably the best Funko Pop they do. Certainly of Robotnik, and probably of the Sonic series actually. I don't know, he just lends himself really well to being a Funko. Coming down, I've then got a pin board here at the back. Again, my wife made the board itself with a shed load of Sonic pins on there. And so again, some more Sonic figures. And at the back there, you can't really see it, but I've got a rare Funko Pop of Super Sonic. Coming down again to my last few shelves, I've got a Sonic 2 Funko Pop, which again was a limited edition. I've got a nice sort of Sega statue, which is sort of themed off of Sonic Mania. And then I've got the 30th anniversary Sonic badges as well, and some little key rings and bits and pieces. Then sort of on the shelf below, I've got a load of Funko Pops here. 3 of my favourites are at the front. Knuckles, that's the Flocked edition, Classic Sonic, and Flocked Tails. And then coming to the bottom shelf behind these, I've got a load of Mega Drive games, but I've got all 4 mainline Sonic Squishmallows that my wife has bought me. I've got Metal Sonic recently for my birthday, he's quite cool. And also this Sonic cushion, which I'm not quite sure what to do with yet, but I do like it all the same. But that concludes my room tour. Obviously, guys, drop us a comment, let us know what you think of it. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe on all the usual channels, and I'll be back with a video in the not too distant future. But for now, guys, take care, have a good one.